All right, everybody. Happy Saturday after Thanksgiving if you're a U.S. citizen. If you're not, then I don't know what this Saturday is for you, but there you go. Today I am filming one of my tags. I have two more tags that I need to complete to be caught up for my K-pop Secret Santa weekly tags, and I meant to do a couple more last weekend, and I didn't get around to it. But this one I'm doing as a live, and this is all about my bias. So I feel like this is kind of an unfair tag for me because I've actually literally done this before. Like, I have a video on my channel that is a bias tag. That's what it's called, K-pop bias tag. And in that tag, I just wax poetic about SHINee and show you guys my albums. Now, it's been maybe a year or two since I did that tag. I would say 2 years since I did that tag. So I've gotten way more albums since then. I've experienced a lot more SHINee since then. But it's still a great tag to watch because I was very sincere about the way I felt about each individual member before I even saw them in person, and I think that what I said then still holds up. So yeah, take a look at that if you like. In fact, I think it might even be 3 years ago. I don't know. When I get ready to add a description to this live, I'll be sure to put a link to that video. But in the years since then, a lot has happened. Obviously, they've released more music since I did that tag. I've purchased more merchandise since I did that tag. And then, of course, we're coming close to the year anniversary of the passing of our favorite bling bling Jonghyun. And so, yeah, a lot has changed, but my feelings for them have not changed. I've loved SHINee from then. I love SHINee now. There's a reason why SHINee is my favorite group, why they are my bias group. And I don't think in the past I was able to maybe make the link between my personal self and why I love SHINee. But now, being older and seeing where my interests lie outside of SHINee, I definitely know what it is about SHINee that makes us compatible. Part of it is the music. When SHINee was performing different albums as five, one thing I could always guarantee is that each member kind of did something in the course of the music that spoke directly to my heart. And so an OT5 always had a really good R&B track. It always had a really good dance track. It always had Jonghyun's brilliant vocals. It always had Key's playfulness. It always had Taemin's kind of higher falsetto-y breathy voice, and Onu had a really secure, strong bass for everything. Not like a Minho bass, even though Minho does a great bass, but more like it was just solid and everything could be built up on his foundation. And so that's one of the things that I really enjoy from SHINee, because when I think of the R&B music I like outside of SHINee, I really love a deep male voice. I really love a nice male falsetto. I really love neo soul. I really love club and dance music. I even have a love of certain show tunes, and there's some really dramatic moments in the SHINee catalog, and so that's why I love SHINee. But I also love that SHINee has this beautiful fan color. It's almost like a Tiffany blue, and it's been called a lot of different things. It's been called like aquamarine blue, just pearlescent, aquamarine. It's so many things. It's so many things. And I have multiple pieces of official SHINee merchandise, and the color changes every single time. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful color. I like it very much. I actually decorated my living room with that color, so it suits us very well. But yeah, I love everything about them. And since I've already done a video kind of detailing my love for them as individuals, let me show you some recent purchases I have from my love. So first we start with this. This is the SHINee 3 concert DVD, SHINee World in Seoul. Now, for you who have watched my channel for a while, you know I'm not a big DVD person. Like, that's not my bag. But after Jonghyun passed, I was kind of going through my collection and saying, okay, everything has inflated in price. What are my priority things that I need to have in order for me to be like, later on down the road, you're not paying extravagant, exorbitant amounts for it? And I realized that one of the things that I have lately enjoyed doing online is looking at SHINee concert footage for particular songs. And with SHINee, they would release an album and they would do the SHINee World right before that album's release, and they would play or perform all the new songs, and then that would be the DVD. And so a lot of live performances of some of my favorite albums, I wanted to make sure I had that because I would love to go online and look at performances of Alarm Clock and Excuse Me Miss and Hold You and all these other songs that I really, really loved. So I said, well, okay, it's time to get the DVDs. And I'm not too fussed about getting Shiny World 2 or Shiny World 1, even though there are some great performances there. I'm not really in a hurry to get that, but this one I really need to have. And let me show you the track list so you can see why I needed it. So here's the track list, and as you can see, tons of great songs. But this was the year that they did all of the songs from both the Misconceptions of You, Misconceptions of Us, and the Everybody album. And Symptoms live performances on here. You know, Colorful is on here. I think Close the Door is on here. They've got like a Fire on here. There's just so much stuff to love on here. So yeah, I needed to have this, and I've watched a couple of unboxings, and it had a pretty decent photo book. So I'm really excited to have this. So you take it out of the slipcase. This is what you get. Inside, you've got one disc, and then on the back you've got disc number 2, and in between, my phone is not really high enough for you to see it. I might need to adjust it, but gosh, it is such a nice photo book. I did not realize how nice this photo book was until I was thinking about like which DVDs do I need to get the best performances, and I realized like this photo book is an unsung hero. This photo book is almost as good as the Shiny World 4 CD photo book. The pictures are really nice. It's a really good size. You get multiple pictures of your biases. Like, it's a good time to be had by all. So if you're able to get it for a reasonable price, I recommend doing so. I bought mine on Amazon, Prime shipping, for about $50, I think, which is not bad. That's a pretty fair price, I believe. I'm not sure what it's going for on the secondary market right now. I had the opportunity to buy it new, so that's why I bought it new. But normally I like to look for secondhand things, so that's one of the things to think about if you're wanting to expand your Shiny collection. Another thing that I collect for Shiny that I've only started collecting in recent years are Seek magazines. So if you're not aware, Shiny has a Japanese fan club. It's Shiny World J, and they release fan magazines in Japan. And one of the things that I think is so impressive about Shiny is that like their Japanese fandom eats so well. Like Shiny is so good about making sure that they release solos there, they release full albums there, lots of original material, really good original material. They spend a lot of time touring there. They really are a bi-coastal group in terms of like they have a solid career in Japan and they have a solid career in Korea, and you could separate those two and they would still be quality catalogs. So that's one of the things I really like about Shiny. And so I like to get their Seek magazines because they do a lot with their Seek magazines. Like they have special pictorials that they do just for Seek. They have a whole series of like comics that they have for their Seek magazines. Like there's just tons of backstage photos, advertisements for their merchandise, for their shows. It's a really good time. I highly recommend it. So if you're a shawol and you're thinking about what's that last piece of merchandise that I don't have that I would really be interested in getting, I can't say enough about collecting Seek magazines. I try to buy them as they come out. This was the latest one, volume 12. But there are, if you go back in the catalog, there are ways to get it for a decent price. But yeah, definitely Seek magazine is one of the ones I highly recommend for the shawol who's kind of got all the CDs, maybe has made their way through most of their DVDs and are looking for photo book type stuff, because this is just as good as buying a photo book. It's really amazing. And I don't know if you can tell from the size, this is a pretty big DVD and it's still not as big as this magazine. So I'm just going to give you quick glimpses here because there's something about the Seek magazine. They encourage people not to show you the whole thing because of spoilers. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but just an example of like these special pictorials that you don't get unless you buy the Seek magazine. Towards the back, Shiny always does these like comic strips whenever they do Seek. And every Seek I have, except for number 11, I believe, all have these comic strips. So definitely it's something that I recommend everybody take a look into because they're really, really cool. I wish I had translations for these because I love them so much. But yeah, it is one of my favorite things about Shiny World J, is that they do this extra specialty stuff for them. And speaking of Japanese activities, this is Taemin's Flame of Love, the limited edition. I have the fan club edition. I have the regular edition. I did not have the limited edition. I got this on Zen Market for $17 or $18. Really good price considering what it costs. And that makes it to where I have all the versions of Taemin's Flame of Love, which makes me feel really good inside. And I wanted to get it before the new album came out because Taemin's got a new Japanese album coming out, gosh, in a week. So I wanted to make sure I had this before that came out. But Taemin's career in Japan is just so awesome to watch because, again, like I said, you have a whole career in Korea and a whole career in Japan. And when it comes to Taemin in Japan, he's an artist of another level there. Like, he does really well in Korea, you know, the Press It comeback, the Ace comeback, the Moving comeback. But in Japan, all original material, hardly anything gets redone or recycled. He does whole concert show tours there. He's done more touring in Japan than he's done in Korea, to be quite honest. And I don't know, it's so cool to see him become this separate entity there. And Flame of Love, for me, I liked it way more than I liked Sayonara Hitori. I thought it was a much better album. I thought it kind of bridged the gap between the sounds you got on Sayonara Hitori and the sounds you would get on a Taemin Korean release. I mean, there's still not as much soul music in a Japanese Taemin as there is in a Korean Taemin, but still, good times to be had by all. So this is a slipcase album, in case you've never seen an unboxing of it. It comes with a slipcase, and then here's the back. It's a mini album. It's not a full album, just so you know. And it's Taemin in this blue suit and all these roses that are on fire. It's funny. My friend shawol360, when she did her unboxing, she said this looked like a telenovela photo shoot. And now that she said that, I cannot get it out of my mind. It comes with a CD DVD, and with a very thin photo book. The photo book is nothing to write home about, but it is nice. It is very well done. So, you know, if you wanted to have an extra little piece of Taemin, I was just at the point where I was like, I'm pretty much collecting all the versions of their different Japanese releases, so why not get this? Because it falls in line with my collecting habits. But yeah, you don't have to get the limited edition at all. If you can get the fan club edition, it's way nicer than this. Like, it's big and it's pretty and it's got the same stuff. I think it's got like a newspaper in it. It's super, super nice. And so the last of the Japanese things that I got in the mail recently from my bias group, because I love them so much, it's a couple of postcards and then a card set that I have wanted for a really long time. So, and I got these all from Zen Market. Zen Market is the only Black Friday shopping I did. Zen Market until, I don't know what time today, because it was like Japanese time, but they were having half of their service fees. So I ordered a couple of things because the service fee was only going to be $1.50 instead of $3. But this, obviously I ordered this way before Black Friday. So I got this postcard here, which is an official Shiny World J postcard. And I also got this Minho postcard here. But this was a part of a set. So all of these came together. So I really didn't have any intentions of buying these postcards. But I got those because I wanted this, which is the Kai Bai Bow set for Shiny. There are 15 cards because there's 3 cards per member. At this point, because of everything that's gone on with Jongyun's passing, I would never be able to complete a full group set because Jongyun's cards, Jongyun's albums, Jongyun everything has really gotten super inflated. Just to give you an idea of how inflated things are, I went on Zen Market last night to look to see what the prices are for Shiny World 4 CD, which is probably the most expensive Shiny thing that I personally own. I like to always kind of check in a little bit and see what the prices are. So Minho's photo card, which came with my album, right now it was selling for about $68, almost $70, which is not bad. Jongyun's photo card for that very same album, $458. Like, that's how big the gulf is when it comes to Jongyun merchandise and the rest of Shiny's merchandise. So no, I'll never own the group set of this, but I really wanted to make sure I had Minho's. So here's his paper, here's his rock, And then here are his scissors. It's super, super cute. But yeah, I guess that is another thing that I haven't really talked about as much. I've mentioned it here and there, but maybe it's time to deep dive on that. Jongyun's life being cut short the way it was has led to a lot of kind of treasure hunting when it comes to SHINee. And so everything that's OT5, but with, you know, maybe particular focus on Jongyun has gone up dramatically. And things that are Jongyun alone, official merchandise from his agates, that stuff, it's virtually impossible to buy unless you have super deep pockets. And it's unfortunate. I mean, I get why, because supply and demand, there is a limited supply, there is an increased demand, but I don't know, a lot of it feels like people are taking advantage of a situation. A lot of it feels disingenuous. A lot of it just feels really gross to me. And it feels gross to me because I don't think that that's what Jongyun would have wanted. I don't think he would have wanted his fans to spend more money than they had to because they couldn't get certain things, you know, on the secondary market. I feel like SM really needs to step up their game in terms of maybe re-releasing a couple of things. But I know that, you know, limited editions are limited editions for a reason. And people get mad when you reprint limited editions. But yeah, just seeing the way all of his merchandise has been going for, you know, the equivalent of a car note plus insurance, it's very disheartening. And I thought about, you know, what things in my collection would go for now. And don't get me wrong. I mean, just being a human being, being truly honest with you guys, I thought about selling a couple of things just because I'm like, okay, I could make a lot of money on that. But then I'm like, that would just be me feeding into this frenzy of, oh, gotta cash in now, gotta cash in now. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want things to happen organically. I want them to happen in a way that feels good. And I just think it's a shame that the vultures have come and they have turned what used to be really nice trading between fans, really pretty items that, you know, maybe only a solid collector would want, and turn them into this kind of ravenous devouring of anything that you can rip off of Jongyun's memory. And I hate it. And so, you know, I hate the fact that so much commercialism and kind of almost savagery has entered the collecting market. It's not fair. It's not nice. And, you know, if something really means a lot to you and you're willing to spend the money, all power to you. But it makes me sad to think that there's like a really good, true fan out there that's never going to get their biases stuff because these practical criminals of these crimes of opportunity have been happening with Jongyun's merchandise. It makes me really sad on the inside. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you that I haven't already shown on camera is this. This is a Korean Harper's Bazaar. I believe this was from November. I feel like this is from November. And this I ordered from a seller out of Korea because it has a very special pictorial for Minho that I just couldn't believe it. When I saw the previews of it, I knew it had to be mine. So I'm going to open this for you guys. There's some weird tape on the bottom of this. I don't know what this tape is, but get off there. I saw the previews of this pictorial, and the minute I saw the previews, I knew I had to have it. And it's even more glorious in person than it is online. So let's see. How do I open this thing? Oh, right here. I did a little pre-opening before I put stuff on camera because I didn't want to sit and struggle with opening stuff on camera. This is one of the ones I thought would be easy to open on camera, so that's why it's not all the way out like the others, but yeah. So this is the magazine. It's really, really big, and Minho's pictorial starts in the 200s, I believe. Let's see. I'm just looking through this. No, yeah, it's got to be in the 200s because I think it's after that lady. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss it, guys. Okay, yeah, I know it's after her because I remember commenting. She was on Because It's Our First Life. She did so good on that drama. It was a really great time. Okay, so this is the one right before Minho because I remember seeing this picture and thinking, wow, Minho's eye color is different. But yeah, this is the one right before Minho. I'm not sure who this actor is, but he's a good-looking dude. He's really nice looking. I need to start watching whatever he's in. All right, yeah, so this is Minho. Oh my gosh, you guys. This has got to be the warmest Minho has looked in years. Like, his skin looks the right color. They've got this green sweater on him that accentuates his skin color. His hair is this kind of like reddishy, browny, autumn tones. Oh my gosh. Hi, Disney Bar. Yeah, he looks amazing here. I just don't even, I don't know who came up with this concept and was like, nope, we're going for tans. But, oh, I mean, they, oh my gosh, he looks great. Like, his lips aren't too pink. His skin is the right color. The fabrics they're using for this pictorial are so rich. It's a lot of wools and velvets and fur and knit. Oh, it's glorious. And his hair is a beautiful length. You know, I'm a sucker for a long-haired Minho. His hair is a beautiful length. Oh gosh, he looks amazing. He looks amazing. Just the colors they're choosing, like these kind of like yellowish, beigey buildings behind him to accentuate the winter colors he's wearing. He looks unbelievable. Oh, look at him. Look at all the texture in this picture. Let's take a little kind of look inside. We've got this kind of textured coat. I don't know what this is. It's like a leathery, pleathery, denimish look. And then he's got these pants. Oh my gosh. And his skin, he looks like he's glowing. He looks like he's glowing. And then over here, come on. Come on. Devastating. Devastating. And it's just a simple Calvin Klein turtleneck, holding a bottle of cologne. He's not making big faces. He's not even like intentionally smoldering. He's just relaxing. But there's just something about his face. It's like, I need more of this. I need all of this in my life. Oh, his arms look great. He looks so good. This is my favorite picture. This right here is my favorite picture because I am a sucker for Minho and glasses. That right there, put that on my tombstone. I love it so much. But I love how his skin looks. Oh my gosh. Look at his hands. Oh, look at the strength in his hands. Yeah, this was worth every penny I paid, and I paid a lot for this. I don't normally pay a whole bunch for the magazines, but I think I paid $20 for this magazine plus another $18 in shipping. So it was pretty pricey for me, but it was definitely worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat because, my God. Oh, could you imagine if this was your substitute teacher? Hey, kids, time to take a pop quiz. Oh, oh, oh. I can't. I can't. He's got a leather shirt on. A leather shirt on. He just, and his Adam's apple. And just all the color choices. Like, you guys don't get it. Like, the color choices that were made for this are so incredible. First of all, the skin, the makeup. Like, they always put the palest foundation they can on Minho's face. So they finally put foundation on his face that matches his neck. They've got him totally glowed up and warm color. He's got this kind of like mauve-y, richer colored lip color on instead of like, you know, the super pink lip that they're always used to when they're promoting. And then his eyes, they let him keep his natural eye color and just slightly tinted his hair. Not overboard, just slightly tinted, enough to highlight the gold. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's everything I ever wanted. So that's the end of that little pictorial, but it is by far my favorite photo shoot Minho has ever done. And I can say that in all honesty, having gone through several photo shoots with Minho and several Shiny World pictures and everything else. This is the best Minho has ever looked in a photo shoot. And he's not even half naked. He's covered in sweaters and coats and shirts and layers, but he just looks edible. He looks fan-freaking-tastic. I just want to cuddle him. I just want to cuddle him. We don't have to do nothing nasty. I just want to cuddle him. I just want to give him hugs and, you know, read books with him and drink coffee. That's all I want. I'm very basic when it comes to that. But yeah, so thank you for watching this. I'm sorry that, like I said, I'm sorry that I didn't do the tag in the way that it was initially set up to be done, but I think you can tell kind of how I feel about my bias by how I'm reacting to the items that belong to my bias group. You know, I have a very strong reaction to shiny things because they grab my heart. And you know, not to end this live on a downbeat, but because shiny means so much to me, I have been really struggling with my feelings as we head into December. December is usually a really great month for shawls because December is Minho's birthday and Onu's birthday. But this December is lighthearted. Yes, we're very fortunate. We're going to get a key solo. He's doing a feature with Crush. How exciting. And I would have been showing you my Key Forever Yours photo book, but I ordered mine from Kpop Tag and they canceled my order because they ran out of stock even though I had bought mine weeks ago. I pre-ordered it. But yeah, kpoptag.com ran out of stock, so I had to find a secondary vendor on eBay to order it from, so it should be here in a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's why I'm not showing it to you now. But we're lucky that we're getting Key's new album Face, which goes on with that Ace derivative theme. We're getting Onu solo, which I want to see what Ace derivative he's going to use. I'd love to see Pace or Trace or Lace. I have a feeling he's going to like troll us all and choose Peace and be like, well, it ends with the ACE. Onu, you're so funny. But yeah, while this year has been super productive for shiny, we've seen, you know, we've seen 3 individual releases and 1 kind of compilation release for shiny OT4. We've seen solo for Key. We've seen Japanese solos for Taemin. We're going to see a solo for Onu. Minho's been acting his ass off this year. Some great pictorials. I have another magazine that I did a couple months ago with Min-Key photos in it. That was really, really nice. Like, yeah, there's been a lot of great stuff that's happened in Shiny World, but December is Onu enlisting, which is very difficult because that's just the start of several enlistments. And then, of course, we're coming on to the middle of December, which marks the 1-year anniversary of the passing of our precious Jonghyun angel. And I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared of the emotions I'll feel. I'm scared of how other people in my life will react. And I don't know, it's still a very fresh, open wound, a wound that was definitely exacerbated by the passing of my uncle this year. But, you know, it still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real that he doesn't exist. It still hurts to think about all of the awesome things that Shiny's gotten a chance to do this year and celebrating our 10th anniversary and being so close as a community. I mean, this year more than any other year that I've been a fan, I felt like a shawol because we have come together so big and we've been supporting each other so much. And, you know, all the pettiness that could have happened, we've pushed that all aside and we focused on what mattered. And I don't know if it's as a result of this or if it is because we've all matured and we're no longer chasing music show wins and things like that. But I just think of all that he missed and all that was meant for him. All that is meant for him that he's not getting a chance to be a part of. And even now, it's just very difficult approaching those feelings again. And it's just very difficult approaching those feelings again. But I think a lot has happened that we can all be very proud of in this last year. And I think those are the things that I'm going to focus on. I know for myself, on the 1-year anniversary of Jonghyun's passing, I will be making another donation to suicide prevention in his name because he deserves. I know that I will also be adding another one in my uncle's name because he deserves. I know that we should all be proud of the work that the Shiny Foundation has been doing. They recently took up supporting a musician who is suffering with cancer. They've used the proceeds that the Shiny Foundation has made from album sales and towel sales and everything else, and they're supporting another musician in need. Um, we should be proud of the fact that Jonghyun's brothers in Shiny have grown by leaps and bounds. That they took Jonghyun's life and decided to live theirs to the fullest. Minho really grinding when it comes to his acting. Key deciding now's the time to come out with a solo album. Taemin being a beast in Japan and killing the concert scene. And Onu saying, I'm going to take a step back and focus on me. He's had a lot of pressure as the leader, and he said, you know what? I'm going to take this time after all the stress of the scandal and, having to bury my friend. I'm going to spend the better part of the year fucking relaxing and vacationing and eating. And then I'm going to finish my military time and come back as a new and more refreshed me. And I applaud him for it. I'm so proud of all of them. I'm so proud of all of them. I feel like, in a way, Jonghyun's passing gave them all kind of a new lease on life. Not necessarily that they were all headed in bad places, but maybe the urgency to chase after your dreams even harder wasn't there because they were all so jaded. They spent 10 years in the spotlight, kind of finding something else to chase after when you've already been so successful for so long. That's difficult. And so maybe with Jonghyun's passing, that, you know what, I have one more dream left. I have one more height I need to extend to. I have one more passion I haven't quite made fulfilled. And I love seeing them live their life out to maximum capacity in their brother's name. And so, I'm going to hold on to those things as we approach December for sure. But no, there'll always be a Jonghyun-sized hole in my heart. There'll always be a Jonghyun-sized hole in Shiny as far as I'm concerned. It's OT5 forever, absolutely. But I'm going to miss his face. I'm going to miss his voice. I'm going to miss his laugh. I'm going to miss his pranks. I'm going to miss his songwriting. I'm going to miss his skill. I'll miss his dance, his stage presence. I'll miss his sincerity. I'm going to miss his heart. I miss Jonghyun's heart. Out of every celebrity I've ever followed in my 39 years, I've never cared so much about someone and felt so devastated when they passed away. And I know why I care. I know why I care. I care because Jonghyun cared. He stood up for women. He stood up for LGBT. He stood up for people with depression. He stood up for the underprivileged. He stood up for single moms. He stood up for all of us. And I'll miss his heart. There's not ever going to be another one like him. And yeah. So with that in mind, the last big activity I'll be doing in December, I'll be doing the Secret Santa in December, of course, because it's tradition. And then I may pre-record something for December 18th or go live. I haven't made up my mind because I feel like me talking about Jonghyun on the anniversary of his death won't be for me. It'll be for all the shawols who feel like they don't have anybody to talk to and are looking for a place to kind of vent and congregate and just share good times with other people who care. And so something to that effect may happen. But December's going to be really low-key for me, y'all, because I just want to take time to reflect and to acknowledge and to celebrate and, analyze my own feelings and thoughts. And, December's a family month. December is a family month. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me on my live stream, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.